looks like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez might be in hot water. Federal Election Commission complaint actually says that her chief of staff could have funneled nearly $1 million in donations. This comes we have the overlay. It's been suggested the congresswoman and her team could be facing major fines, potentially even jail time. To be fair, campaign finance law complaints can sometimes just be political.
Of course.
So here to actually give her side of the story, everyone be quiet, we don't want to give her the respect she deserves, is Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Miss Cortez, are you there? Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, okay, there is no violation, Stephen. Okay, there is, no violation.
Right. Well, all I said was welcome to the show. That's really
but you were thinking it, Stephen. You just can't stand the thought of me, a Latinx of color, being as powerful as you, a man. So you're making things up.
No, I just wanted to ask you about the FEC complaint that actually it seems to say that
you... That's hate speech!
The complaint?
Yes.
How exactly?
Because I hate that they're questioning me.
Okay, no, it's actually a complaint that's been filed against your chief of...
Oh my gosh, Stephen, this is so tired. I'm over it. Okay, first you're going to try and call out my supposed campaign finance violations. Then you'll call me a socialist, which I am. Then you'll call me anti-Semitic, which won't check out because your researcher will clearly see that I get bagels from Shlomo's in the Bronx every day. I'm over it, okay?
Congresswoman, are you okay?
Of course! Why wouldn't I be okay? Don't patronize me, Stephen! Don't mantronize me!
Okay, Congresswoman, I think you're avoiding the question about the FEC
complaint. You would never say that to a man? You're attacking me because I'm a powerful woman. Okay, admit it. You're man-tacking me.
No, it's entirely because you're avoiding the question.
You're man-voiding my question now.
Wait, what question? You didn't ask a question. I asked a question. Did you have a question?
Don't you dare man-terrogate me.
Okay, all right. This is going nowhere. Congresswoman Cortez, everybody. I appreciate
Rude! Don't you mang up on me. Don't mang up on me!
Mang up. Yeah, that's never going to go anywhere
I was getting concerned about the...
No, you guys were muted, though. I appreciate you
we held our peace.
Being nice. Hey, by the way, this week, not this week, the winner of last week's trivia contest is Sarah, is it Bethards?
Bethard sounds
Betal?
right.
On dit-tu Betal? I'm translating the French-Canadian way. Anyways, the Twitter handle is Sarah Beth for correctly answering that the stars were from Cobra Kai that they appeared on the show. So you're going to get a nice shirt.
Very nice.
Yes, by the way, I'm wearing... I am so sweaty right now, even though it's cold. Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's really cold in here.
Yeah, it's cold and I'm sweating because I'm very ill. No, this is not good. Okay, so I actually do want to get into this. Ocasio-Cortez is kind of the... this, I guess, sort of, we'll call it the dark money scheme. Why? Here's the context. Recent complaint to the FEC. They allege that the campaign moved almost $1 million, okay, contributions from a political, PACs, political action committees that they, by the way, here's what's important, they established, funneling it to private companies that they also controlled. Former FEC Commissioner Brad Smith actually said that the scheme has opened Cortez up to, quote, massive reporting violations, probably at least some illegal contributions violations, exceeding the lawful limits. Also, it looks like a lot of the money could have gone to her boyfriend.
Oh, nice.
That's
nice.
a bad move.
That's good.
That's not going to look good on the resume.
Clever.
And here's the thing. I know that we can say this has been going on for a very long time, and you guys feel free to jump in here at any point. You can say this has been going on in politics for a long time, and you know what? You'd be correct, except for the fact that a huge part of Nina Pinta Santa Maria Cortez's appeal has been her support. Sorry, I'm very, very... It's really hard for me to talk right now. I don't know if you can hear where I told someone's been on the microphone for the first time. She railed against these exact kind of practices. Yeah. That's what's important to note. Here, if you don't believe me, here's actually a video. I think it's the most watched political video on Twitter ever, with 40 million views, in which she railed, which was a cornerstone of her campaign against what she called dark money in politics, screaming about how PACs and politicians can work together to currently move money for their own gain. This is her. This is from her. This is straight from the Googly's mouth.
And I want to get away with as much bad things as possible, ideally to enrich myself and advance my interests, even if that means putting my interests ahead of the American people. So, if I want to run a campaign that is entirely funded by corporate political action committees, is there anything that legally prevents me from doing that?
Turns out she's just taking notes here.
Let's say I'm a really, really bad guy, and let's say I have some skeletons in my closet that I need to cover up so that I can get elected.
Would you agree with the statement? Disagree? Strongly disagree? Let's put that. So I should steer clear of that one. She was just taking notes when you look back. She thought she was being facetious. She's like, I'm asking for a friend of a friend because this congresswoman's friend, whose best friend's girlfriend's sister's boyfriend, knows this guy who saw Bernie Sanders pass out at 31 Flavors last night.
No.
She's like, does this qualify as legal advice that I can depend on in the next campaign?
Yes.
How would you go about doing so?
So it's really interesting that the reason that this is important is that there is a lot of reporting that happens when you have a campaign that gets money, right? They have to spend it. They have to report all of that. PACs have the same kind of issue. The companies are set up so that they can dodge all of that, and they don't have to say anything about what they do with the money. So it's incredibly important that, and she just said, what if you have some skeletons in your closet? That's exactly why you do what she did. Because maybe you do have some skeletons
Something else
in your closet.
Well, you were about to say something, Mahmood?
Oh, no, I was just expressing my love for AOC. She's got some great ideas. You guys should totally enact them.
Somehow that seems
No
self-serving.
green
By the way,
deal.
this whole idea of a
Do the
living
new green deal.
wage, we're going to do a segment on this next week, mainly because she tweeted me this week, and so we're hoping to have her on the show talking about systemic discrimination. But the whole living wage that she's only paying her top staffers $80,000.
Right.
It's actually below the cutoff where they would have to disclose this. Basically, would be below the cutoff of transparency laws. So effectively, she doesn't have to disclose these people if they're only making $80,000. I don't know what the cutoff is.
126.
Is that what it is?
126.
It is 126.
Chief of staff would be making more, and he's the guy who is in a little bit of hot water right now.
Right. And they don't have to disclose outside sources of income as well. So it really it's brilliant. Honestly, I will say I have thought that she isn't the brightest bulb, but this is one of those. This is brilliantly orchestrated. It could just be by her campaign manager. By the way, speaking of brilliantly orchestrated, you've seen the Oscars live stream now. 4 strikes, we fought them. Hit the notification bell if you're subscribed, because that may not mean a whole lot. And also bookmark this page, come back to it, because notifications may not mean a whole lot in the future. Of course, join Mug Club, laddercredit.com/Mug Club, and subscribe on iTunes for the audio version. There are some exclusives on there. All right. So here's another point that I think we want to get to is, as far as I know, I don't want to speak completely in the affirmative here, no attention from MSNBC, CNN, the left-wing outlets, certainly not on Huffington Post or Slate. As a matter of fact, the one story that I think I did see at Huffington Post was conservatives are trying to tarnish AOC's
That's
reputation.
exactly what you see. It gets turned around every single time.
When the right does this isn't just a whataboutism, but okay, do you remember Dinesh D'Souza?
Yeah.
A lot of people go, well, Dinesh D'Souza violated campaign finance. Here's what actually happened. He wanted to donate more than $5,000 to a campaign, okay?
Yeah.
And it was a friend of his who was running, I believe, in California, didn't win. So he asked his wife and 2 friends to do so on his behalf, and he would pay them back later. We're just talking about 3 $5,000 checks. That's it.
Yeah.
He was in prison in a halfway house. Thank God a halfway house, because he would not fare well in a penitentiary.
Hold up.
Almost a year and fined $30,000. With Cortez, we're actually dealing with close to at least 7 figures.
Yeah.
Potentially. Wow. And by the way, we're not talking about a one-time offense in giving money to a friend running for office who didn't even win. We're talking about systemic, remember that word, Cortez? A systemic problem, and that the money was transferred in huge lump sums to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars for vague services like strategic consulting as far as services rendered. We literally have no way of knowing what this money was used for or who ended up using it. Again, this is important only because of the whole. We've talked about this before. Jack Dorsey talked about this. I think we'll talk about this with Alex Jones. They're not pushing for transparency anymore in the realm of free speech. But they've tried to transition and say we're the ones pushing for transparency as it relates to election finance laws, campaign finance laws.
Exactly.
They're not.
No, not at all. And they had to jump through an exceedingly difficult number of hoops to make this happen. Right. So this wasn't something that they were like, oh, we're just going to set this up. Like, they had to set up 2 different companies. The big issue that I think right now is that nobody can really understand. There were 2 FEC people that were interviewed to say, hey, what do you think of this? Former FEC people. And they're like, they're probably in some trouble here. Like, there's definitely smoke here. It's going to be hard to prove, but you only do this if you're trying to hide something. The explanation that was given, though, is so convoluted. They're like, I'm a legal expert. I don't know what they just said. It's very difficult to follow, so we'll see how this goes.
Seems like an honest mistake. I think. That's my opinion.
It seems like racketeering may have been an honest mistake, too, for the drug kingpin.
Hold on, cover for me. I have to cough button.
Oh, my gosh. But either way, it's highly illegal.
Thank God the audience couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
That was a wet one.
They have no idea.
That was a gross cough.
You may want to check your sleeve.
Well, when she filed to run, I think he might be giving them a little bit too much credit, because when they filed to run, they filed in the wrong district, and then they had to refile to run in the current district that she represents. Is it possible that the same people
Tell us, Mahmood,
who filed in the wrong district tripped up on some campaign finance laws?
and went out of their way to hide it, but didn't know that was bad.
I was thinking you were going to zig when I expected you to zag, and you just zagged.
I'm not a rocket doctor. I don't know how this works.
No, and here's something that's important. You talk Bernie, and they talk about PACs, and they talk about corruption in politics, taking big money out of politics. I get it that people are remarkably inconsistent, okay? But here's something that really, we've done a whole segment, if you search our channel, Citizens United, okay?
Yeah.
They bring up Citizens United a whole lot. Bernie said, and we have to overturn Citizens United, get big donors out of politics. Hold on a second. Hold on, one second here. Citizens United, for people who don't know, it was initially about an anti-Clinton film that the Clinton campaign tried to suppress, okay?
Right, yeah.
That's what people don't understand about Citizens United. And the case was about the fact that this media production company, the company basically making this anti-Hillary Clinton documentary, had First Amendment protection even though they were a company. Right, even though they were a corporation. Yeah. So what it was about, the Clintons trying to suppress an anti-Clinton film, and the court said they have the right to do this under the guise of the First Amendment. Now, that being said, that set a precedent. This is what the case was about. It set a precedent that allowed corporations to funnel money into PACs. That's a little bit of a simplification. Absolutely, but it's more accurate than what the left has told you about Citizens United, that it was just about PACs going in, wanting to give super donors over to the, over to our reptilian overlords.
Yeah, exactly. And doesn't that remind you of something? Dinesh D'Souza, when he had his issues, was when he released his movie, when he was going so hard after Obama. To try to show America, like, this is not the way that we want to go. And all of a sudden, this random rule that nobody ever gets in trouble for. Didn't Rosie O'Donnell do something?
No, people do. Here, I want to clarify.
Rarely,
people do get in trouble. They don't get put in jail.
Yeah, they don't get the same kind of punishment. Right. So, and what didn't Rosie O'Donnell do something way worse?
Way worse.
She's Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, she had almost no consequences at all.
Yeah, this kind of stuff happens all the time. It's not about the law. It's about the law being applied equally.
Right.
And that's something that's really important. And especially when you're talking about government being used as an arm to prosecute people. Listen, I don't want Donald Trump prosecuting people who disagree with him.
No,
that's why anytime he gets into expanding libel laws with the media, I go, hold on a second, I'm really uncomfortable with this. I do think consistency is important. And if you look at the way the laws are applied, they haven't been applied equally. Certainly with he did it. Don't get me wrong. Dinesh D'Souza did it.
Yeah, he did.
He's been on the show, but I'm like, well, you did it. You did do the crime.
It's been weaponized.
It has been weaponized. And I don't think that Cortez is, as far as I know right now, at the time of this video, facing any jail time or fines. But the hypocrisy here is it's truly breathtaking. I don't even know how to set up this next clip, but she continued. Just let's watch it.
Green light for hush money. I can do all sorts of terrible things. It's totally legal right now for me to pay people off. So I use my special interest dark money funded campaign to pay off folks that I need to pay off and get elected.
Correct.
So now I'm elected, now I'm in. I've got the power to draft, lobby, and shape the laws that govern the United States of America.
Who is describing themselves for 700, Mr. Trebek? By the way, heart goes out to Trebek, the pancreatic cancer. That's really rough. But I do like the guy. The guy's an American, basically an American institution. Oh, man, I just stepped on my own joke, and now everyone's going to feel bad.
Oh, no.
He would like that joke. She is describing herself. She's like that girl, basically, who just walked up. She might as well just walked up behind everyone is hearing, put her hands in front of their eyes and go, guess who? Guess who I'm describing? Is it you? Is it you? It's not even facetious. I'm actually just trying to get intel.
Yeah. She went to her chief of staff and said, will you write down what we did so that I can say this as the bad example?
Look at that. Yes, she used, by her standards, dark money to get elected. And yes, now she is shaping our laws. Is this really the kind of person that you want in power? One who can rail against dark money, 1 second the PACs. This is not a new concept, while knowing, though, that she is doing exactly that. Look at that. And I know people talk about Donald Trump lying, and I think we can all agree he's done that in the past. A little bit. The difference, we were just talking about this before the show, is Donald Trump, he's right about some things, even if he doesn't understand why he's right. Yeah. He might say, no, listen, you guys screw up the housing market. Excuse me, listen, no, Freddie Mac, okay, fake news, you're wrong. And you're like, I don't think he understands what he's talking about there, but he is right.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody understands.
He's got people that know.
Whereas Cortez doesn't understand what she's talking about, and she's incorrect.
She's incredibly dangerous. She has zero clue. And
don't say that, because they're going to hold that out as a badge of honor. Like, I'm a dangerous woman.
No, but that's what I'm...
So don't say dangerous.
You can't
make her a rebel without a just cause.
She's incredibly incompetent, and that poses problems in our system of government. And I guarantee you that she thinks all of the fans that she has right now, the people that are following her or kind of whatever on social media, are actually there because she has good ideas. We're there because it's a dumpster fire, lady. Okay, we're waiting for you to do something stupid next. You're providing material every single day.
We'll get to that right before the break. Before we go to Alex Jones, my move.
No, but it's fun to watch, Gerald. I mean, it's fun. she's angry. I like the jacket. It's everything about it. It's great
Stylish.
TV.
Well, if you want the demise of the United
She
States,
looks like she
as you
picked that-
purportedly do, I mean, let's be honest, okay? Yeah.
She looks like she picked that jacket out of a lineup from the Leaving Neverland cast.
Oof.
Anyone who watched Leaving Neverland, that is
I get
funny.
the
Go
reference.
watch it.
I get the
It was
reference.
very
I don't.
disturbing. Here's
seen
the thing that really bothers me about Cortez. Okay, the sort of praise you hear of her, even from conservatives, as well. I mean, you've heard this about Bernie. At least she's genuine. Right? At least Cortez is. She really actually. She's authentic. She believes what she claims. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? I don't care if Bernie's authentic. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even think that he's inauthentic because he has 3 houses. I really don't. I bring it up because I think it's hypocritical, but I think he probably believes what he espouses. But it doesn't matter. She and he, they're just genuinely selfish.
Yeah.
Socialism is an inherently selfish worldview. She acts like taking other people's money is altruistic, right? Okay, me saying that I don't want to take money. I don't have a right to take money from millionaires or billionaires, even though they make money. More money than me. I am not amongst them. I'm sure they are shocked to find out that this program does not place me amongst their ranks. But I don't want to take their money. That's the opposite of selfish. Them saying that they want to take your money is wanting to keep money that you've earned, reasonable. Wanting to take someone's money that you haven't, selfish. And they don't even run their campaigns any differently. They redistribute wealth however they like. And I have this frog in my throat here. It is unbelievable. Somebody help me! Somebody help me while I grab a sip of water. I can't. I'm like the Charlie in the box, right? No one wants to listen to a Cortez in the box.
Well, the solution is to get rid of all the billionaires, but the solution is also to take all the billionaires' money. So it's difficult. You have to do one or the other, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it really is a selfish ideology, and Bernie and Cortez, they're just overgrown, selfish children who just happen to have gotten older. Right? She's running her entire campaign with this worldview. Well, you didn't earn that money, but I want it. I want it. Well, hold on a second. That's a baby. Yeah, but I don't want it. Can I kill it? Can I kill it? Can I kill it?
Apparently so.
She's like a bald eagle stuck in an oil spill. Can I kill it? Can I kill it? Well, they're cleaning them off with Dawn. By your own admission here, hold on a second. It says that you're unwilling to work. So what? I still want a monthly paycheck. I want it. But you said you're unwilling to work. But can I have more money? No. That's not how this works. No. This is what it ultimately comes down to. The progressive worldview, and we for some reason, we've accepted this myth, or the society at large has accepted this, I don't want to even say this myth, but this false narrative, and I know that sounds so pedestrian and overplayed, but it really is a false narrative that it is somehow compassionate, that it is somehow selfless to spend somebody else's money.
No.
Right now, if anyone in this room tried to take someone else's money and spend it, they would be immediately fired, because I'm compassionate and he's a dick. He's done that before multiple times. Yeah, you did. You knew that there was more money in your check than is usually allotted, and you took it anyway.
It's supposed to go to me.
I did.
Yeah, it was supposed to go to
I
you.
said thank
That's
you.
it.
Yeah. No,
That's
look.
a power move right there. Yeah.
Absolutely, it's the absolute worst thing to do is to take other people's money. It has had the worst results.
It's not the worst thing to do.
No, it is.
Mahmoud does
good
the
word.
worst.
What are you talking about, Gerald?
Economically speaking.
Economically, yes.
speaking. All right.
Okay.
Economically speaking, the worst thing.
Economically.
It'll have the worst results.